Okay, here is a bottom of a door frame. That's what it looks like from behind. And you can see there's some rust, but we're not working on that at the moment. But this is very common to rot out like this. Really, if you want to find out, a lot of times the paint's going to be peeling loose. And you just poke it with a nail, you got some more rot here. So this, I'm not going to do too much with this. We'll fill this in and hopefully stop that from doing any more, because you can see the joint down here is where it's really soaking in. That's also what broke loose here, was the joint in the wood. So anyway, what we're going to use, first off, as you can see, there's still some loose stuff I need to get off there, but once that loose stuff is off, we have some Durham's Rock Hard putty. Here's what it looks like mixed up. It comes in a powder, you can see inside there. You mix it up into this pasty-like stuff. Get to the thickness that you want. In this case, we're going to use a little thicker, heavier stuff to get in there. So I'll come back and get a shot afterward. Okay, see, I'm using a beehive tool here, and together with my putty knife, if you will, kind of, because you got to get down in here and got to watch for vacancies like that. So the other thing is that the detail here is going to get on that seal, so you want to get off that seal. But it's not the end of the world if a little bit was on it. However, you want to get this square enough that when you're said and done, it's going to look like the wood, because we're going to paint it, clean it up good, and you want it to be pretty smooth. If you can't, like right here, this is definitely too thick. My first time is not going to work here, and probably won't here either. So it'd be good to leave a little bit of a divot, if you will, and then you can bring your knife over and square it up with a finer coat later on, rather than try to get everything all at once right now. Now I'm just kind of working in here. I want to make sure and get those edges really solid. Even if that's all I could do until it hardened, I'd be fine with that, and then I could keep filling it in. As it is, I'm going to keep trying to see what I can get in here to hang. And as the putty gets thicker, it gets a little more sticky, a little more difficult to work with. So you just want to be sensitive to that, and when it gets too sticky or too hard, you want to just clean your bucket out of everything and mix up a new batch. That's one thing I like about this rock hard putty. There's some other stuff out there that looks a lot like gypsum from sheetrock inside the house, and I can't imagine using that outside. Tried it one time, and that stuff was messy. And as soon as it rained, it just softened up and came back out again. So this here is really kind of like a hybrid between wood and putty for your car. It's not near as toxic, I guess is the word, as car putty, like you'll see used on some doors. I really haven't used automotive putty very much, because I found this pretty early on to be very effective. So, see you in a bit. Okay, an update here. This is a update on yesterday's work. Actually, I had to leave and let it set up. It was really taking a long time. So this is working perfectly back here. This is keeping a nice straight edge for me, and yet it's breaking loose whenever I can move that out once it dries a little bit. So that gives me the opportunity to pull my second knife through. There was a bump right here. It's talking about how hard it was to peel out, but with a razor blade like that, that works pretty good. So you want to make sure any bumps are off there. And of course, you see I got this piece in now. So now we'll build this out to about there, and we'll take this, square this off here as well to get that corner built out. And it might have to set up a little bit before I can get that corner to hold, but we'll get that built out. It'll be just about as square and as good as it was originally, and then we'll paint over it and it'll be good as new. I want to mention that the way to get that really square, you can see it's kind of working out here. It's pretty soft right there, but in fact, that little crevice there, I might have to wait one more time, let this harden before I do that piece. But with this soft in there, what I do is I make sure I focus on this part of the wood right here, which is my guide, and I let this part over in this zone, or that part of my knife, just float. So I'm putting all my pressure right there, and I just draw that up. And in this case, it's too far out, and if I do press on it, and it bulges out this side. But that can be cleaned up a little bit with my knife afterward. I'm going to do a little bit like this, but I'm speculating on the squareness. So that's what you want to do, is just kind of focus on the other surface you have that's square. Well, that's about all I can do for this one. I'll have to let that harden. Be able to shave this, a little bit of this edge off my knife, fill that in down there. So it looks like about 3 stabs at it, we'll have it. Okay, here we have the final outcome. I'm not happy with how much stuff is on there. Maybe I could have put down some masking tape or something to stop that. So now I'm getting ready to paint, and we'll come back for an after shot of that. Well, there we go. That is the finished product. You know, if you have any ideas or you think it could be better, let me know. Obviously, I got some more cleaning up to do for those little pieces down there, but other than that, 90% what it was.